I talked to Kelly in February and said, hey, I see you've got some artwork up here, and have you ever thought about having a school have their artwork hung up? And she said, yeah, we have, but we'd love to. We haven't had James John up before. And I'm like, yeah, that's crazy. We have a lot of great stuff happening at James John. And she said, okay, so we booked it. We booked it for May. This was like, I think I had this conversation with her like in February. And at that time, I didn't know what we were going to put up. I just knew that we wanted some stuff put up. And I knew I'd like, well, we'll do some artwork. And, you know, like most teachers, I'm like, I'll think something up, you know, and it'll be great because my kids are going to be doing it. Well, and then we had the right brain thing happen, and and then it just dawned on me, like the week Julie was coming in, I'm like, we could hang the right brain stuff. Oh, that would be even better. Like, how great would that be? Because it would actually be, you know, because Julie's an amazing art teacher, amazing photographer. And so that's how we actually put those two things together. And then we needed a place to hang it and stuff. So then I had Mr. Fairbanks, our volunteer, build a frame, a structure to put the artwork on, and then we walked it over there and hung it up in Starbucks. And having it hang at Starbucks was a huge deal. They all have their favorite picture. They all have their favorite picture of the kids, which I was really taken aback by. I wasn't expecting that. I expected them to comment on the whole thing, but the fact that they've looked at it long enough that all the baristas have their favorite picture, and their customers have their favorite, and it's a constant source of conversation that they're having in the shop because it's right there where they pick up their drinks. And they said that they're having to walk their drinks around to people because people will order their drink and turn around and look at this artwork and then forget to pick up their drink, and they're like, ma'am, and then they have to like take the drink around because people are so enamored by the artwork, which I think is pretty cool. Like, I think we're onto something here with Right Brain Initiative if you're keeping people from their frappuccinos, right? I mean, because think about it. I mean, people will mow each other down for coffee in our culture, and the fact that the work that elementary schools are doing is compelling enough to keep people from picking up their drink. One of my kids, he brought his mom in, and his mom's boyfriend, and his brother, and everybody from his mom's work, actually, because they all worked just down the street, and they all came in and looked at the art. And the thing is, like, he was so proud of his writing. It was public. His mom loved it. He brought his whole family. His mom was so proud of it. She brought her coworkers. And then while they're standing there, one of the people that he didn't even know, a customer, just said, "Oh, is that your poem? Is that your poem?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's mine." Like, "Oh man, I just gotta tell you, that's my favorite one. That's my favorite one." Again, to hear this from, so think about all the different messages that this one kid is getting. He's being told his mom cares about his writing. He's being told that his extended family cares about it. He's being told that the people his mom works with cares about it, and he's being told even by strangers in the shop. That's my favorite one. The community even buys into that, because they say, if you say, "These kids are awesome, look what they did, look at this great work," the community's saying, "That's right, those are our kids. Those are St. John's kids." So the community starts, so then you have all these people like starting to take ownership in the process, which I think that's where we need to get. I mean, I think that's, when people say, what's wrong with education, there's not enough ownership of it. So I think there's a groundswell of support. You know, people say, well, you know, I think a lot of times, I don't think this is true, but I think there's this idea that people don't care what's happening with kids in schools, in public education, and I don't think anything could be further from the truth. I think people desperately care, and they're not invited in the conversation. And so with Right Brain and working with Starbucks, or just anybody, not necessarily Starbucks, but Right Brain, getting the artwork out in the community allows people to engage in that conversation, which I think is just like critical for our kids.